the case for change. Why are we moving in this direction? Well, first of all, we intend to double the size of our business over the next 10 years. That's a lot of incremental servings. Secondly, we've observed a distribution of creativity. No one now has the smarts on creative ideas, and in fact, consumer-generated stories outnumber the Coca-Cola company-generated stories on most of our brands, and we need to fuel both these truths. And then the third trend is what we're all here to discuss, and that's the distribution of technology. We now have greater connectivity and consumer empowerment than we've ever had before, which means that consumers now can turn their demands on whenever they call, 24 hours a day. The good news is that technology is a fantastic creative enabler, and we need to develop ideas where we cannot separate the technology from the idea itself. We admire 12th Force, we admire Tippix and YouTube. We love the work that IKEA continues to do on Facebook. And we can get inspired by deep immersive storytelling, as the Golf GTI iPhone app demonstrated last year. So we need to integrate technologists into our core creative teams, and we must develop, the Coca-Cola company must develop direct relationships with the key technology partners. Chapter 3, the evolution of storytelling. So with all of that change in mind, we need to focus on the evolution of storytelling. As a company, we need to move from one-way storytelling to dynamic storytelling. So what is the definition of dynamic storytelling? Well, it's the development of incremental elements of a brand idea that get dispersed systematically across multiple channels of conversation for the purposes of creating a unified and coordinated brand experience. And the role of content excellence in the organization is to behave like a ruthless editor. Otherwise, we run the risk of just creating noise. So for the Coca-Cola company, we've identified 5 facets of dynamic storytelling. The first is serial storytelling. The second is multifaceted storytelling. The third is spreadable storytelling. The fourth is immersion and discovery storytelling. And the fifth is engagement through storytelling. But we must remember at all times that storytelling is at the heart of all families, all communities, and all cultures. And it's something that the Coca-Cola company has excelled at for the last 125 years. Chapter 4. Baking our sustainability agenda, Live Positively, into our storytelling plans, vital for all advertisers. So at the Coca-Cola company, all of our stories start with the brand, vision, and architecture statement. It's a strategic document that outlines exactly where we're going to get brand growth from and what the brand's cultural role is in the world. We now need to ensure that each one of our brands is committed to making the world a truly better place. And once we've understood exactly how each brand will do this, we need to develop consumer-facing content that draws awareness of that. Now, the good news is this area is a huge creative opportunity. Who in the room isn't inspired by Nike's commitment and the Girl Effect program? So for the Coca-Cola company, our powerful position in the world affords us not just the opportunity, but the responsibility to ensure that our brands succeed in making the world a better place. And we encourage all employees and partners to actually integrate the Live Positively principles into their own daily lives, activities, and indeed operations. So chapter 5, from insights to provocations, the big, fat, fertile creative brief. So the next area of evolution is how do we get to a big, fat creative brief? We just simply need bigger thinking at the heart of our strategic briefs. Now, working with knowledge and insights at the Coca-Cola company, we observed that insights can sometimes lead to small incremental thinking. And what we need if we're going to reach that business goal is big transformational actions. So we need to get to provocations. And in order to get to provocations, data will become the new soil within which our ideas will grow. And data whisperers, people who can understand this data, become our new messiahs. So we'll mine the provocations and they'll take us to a liquid and linked creative brief. Remember, at the heart of the Coca-Cola Company's creative briefs, we want a big, fat, fertile space. We'll get to that space through mining business data, objectives and challenges, through doing brand spacing work, through collaborating with internal and external collaborators, and most importantly, through engaging through online dialogue with consumers.